Okay, so let's talk really quickly what we are going to do here, why, and what tools we are going to use. So you can see we will be working on SCAR model. If you've been playing, for example, Battlefield 4, you should be familiar with this weapon. It's of course not the best weapon in the game. I choose it mainly because the main shape of the weapon is relatively simple. But don't worry, we will have a lot of different parts of the weapon covered, so I hope tutorial will not be very boring for you. With this weapon we will be making this kind of scope, this kind of grip that we will add, and some kind of laser sight. So I think modeling the scope will be the most advanced part if it's about modeling. Okay, so let's talk right now about tools that we are going to use to make this weapon. Of course, it's not the hardcore modeling tutorial. I don't use tons of weird and advanced modeling tools. I use relatively simple stuff. So you can see I have bunch of icons on the shelf. These icons on the shelf on the left side are mainly useless for me. I keep them only here because I want my important icons on the right side, because it's just more comfortable for me to have them here rather than on the left side. So let's explain what we've got here. The first one is center pivot, very important tool. You can press insert to change the pivot of the object, and really often you want to center it, so center pivot and it's done. Next icon is freeze transformation, so you can freeze transformation on this object, and I use it really often, so I have these two icons on the shelf, so it's very important. And also with these two icons I use really often delayed by type history, but I use keyboard shortcut, but you can find these options delayed by type history. So I use it really often to freeze everything, clear history, and Maya sometimes works faster. So the next two icons are just smooth and hard edges. You can set smooth. You can find these options here. Soft edges, and this one is hard edges. Same as here. Okay, next one is reverse normals. Sometimes it happens that you have to reverse the normals, so I keep it on the shelf. Next one is combine, so we can combine two objects, and you see right now we have center of these two objects on the center of the grid, so it's pretty useful to have center pivot in here and you can work. And next one is split tool. I use it very often. And these two are next, so let's talk maybe first about this one. Let's edit this. So you can see I have this command, and I have this on the shelf just because they removed this tool from the menus. I don't know why. They've added another new split polygon tool. It's this one. It works pretty okay, but I like to use this old one very often. Have to hit enter, and it's sometimes better than this new tool, but I still want to use the old split tool. So in order to activate it, you have to put this command in the command line, and you have to press enter and you can use it. So I've put this one on the shelf to have quicker access to this tool. So this one before is inst. What this do, let me open it. It just instance with some parameters. This one is for working on the symmetrical stuff. Let's say we want to make head and we want to work on the both sides at the same time. So you see I have this one part of the box, and when I press instant, we have now this second one. The one thing you should have in mind is your pivot point. You should set it really on the center, and now you can work on the both sides. Like this. So the next tool is append. When we have some holes in the model, we want to close them, we use append tool. Next one is merge selected vertices. And you can see I use G key on the keyboard to repeat the last operation, and you can see in channel box that what we are doing here. We are merging vertices. Okay, this one is delete selected poly components. We can delete edges this way, we can delete vertices, we can delete polygons. It's a little bit different than hitting sometimes delete on your keyboard, because sometimes when you, for example, deleting edges, you are not deleting vertices, and this might cause some problems. So when you use this delete, you want to be sure that you are sure that this will delete not only edges but also vertices. Okay, next tool is this is some kind of push. So let me show you what this will do when we activate it, and when we hold this, it allows you to push vertices along the normals. Sometimes it's useful, so I keep it on the shelf. Where you can find it? Transform tools and move normal tool. This is this one. Yeah, move normal tool. Let me show you. Yes, this is actually the same. Yep. So, and next icons, of course, some basic stuff like outliner for list of the objects, UV editor, hypershade, window, transfer maps, and I use it a lot while working with some low poly stuff when I have to bake, of course, ambient occlusion normal maps. SM01 edit. So you can see what we've got here and what it will do. Let's say you want to work with this subdivision surface mode. So the default subdivision level is set to 2, but sometimes I want to work on the lower level, so I don't have to, for example, go into attribute editor, smooth mesh, and set it manually here. I can just press this icon and it will set previous division level to 1. Very useful because sometimes 2 is too high when you have a lot of object in the scene. So to optimize it a little bit, I work with 1. And of course I have these icons in the one line, but we are working here with the lower level resolution for the recording, so I have to scroll down. I have the icons for the import export. What here? This is a simple cut, so you can cut the surface. Here's extract, merge vertices, extrude. Really, I don't use this icon. I mainly use this menu here, extrude, and we can work this way. More comfortable than using extrude icon. Cut face using plane. Here is some box icon and this one that we have added. So these are the modeling tools that we are going to use. Of course I'm going to use some others that are not on the shelf, but I use it relatively not often. Like for example cleanup, sometimes I have to use these options, but I don't have it on the shelf. Okay, so let's move right now to the UVs. I have another shelf just for UVs, and let's talk about this for a second. So you can see I have some new icons here on the shelf. This shelf is just for making UVs. Of course I have these important icons like center pivot and freeze transformations, combine. These are also very useful even with while working with UVs. So let's talk about this first one. While working on the UVs, we have to apply some kind of texture, checker texture, in order to see how our UVs are working. So we don't have to create this material from scratch. We have to just press CRT icon and our material checker material will be automatically created. It's very useful. We can check this material in our Hypershade and you see this checker UV material was created. It looks like this. Let's open actually the script. The script might look very difficult, but the thing is you don't have to understand it. One thing you should do is put in here the path for your UV grid image. So you have to have on your hard drive some kind of UV grid image to use with this script, and it will automatically create a shader for you. So you can change also the name of this material, but you don't have to really. The most important is this path here. Okay, so we have also icon for applying this material. So if you've changed the name in this previous script, you will have to change it also here, but if you didn't, you can leave it like it's right now. What it will do, it will just apply the checker material that we've created before to the object. It's very useful because sometimes I don't want to go here and do it like this. I can add it from here, or we can add it just for one polygon and it will work. Okay, so let's open maybe UV editor. Let's actually delete the UVs, turn off this image and turn on shade the UVs. Okay, so you can see I have three icons, X, Y and Z. They are also very useful. This is how the script looks. This one will have just the different letter in here, X for X, Y for Y and Z for Z. Of course, what it will do, it will just create a planar projection accordingly to the axis. So this for Y, and if I want to create this one for Z. No, it didn't work. Yeah, it did work, but I don't have to our material assign. So let's assign it to the object, and this way when we create planar projection it will work just fine. If we do the wrong, of course we will get this kind of look. If we do the right, we have it like here. So it's very useful to have these icons here because I don't want to open this window, for example, and work like this and click apply. It's very annoying. It's especially annoying when you have this window open and you open, for example, another window with the different options. So this one close and you just have to reopen it every time. So you lose tons of time working like this. You can speed it up using these icons on the shelf. So I recommend really using this. So I think that's it. We can start working on our weapon, and that's it. Thank you.